come on in, baby. Behind the scenes, we were trying to figure out, okay, so what day is this, baby? Because it's a brand new week, honey. We are here. And welcome to the Empowered Morning Show. Ladies, how are y'all this morning?
Tired.
Yes. I
Sorry.
was
Good
thinking,
morning.
the Bible say, look, the spirit is willing, baby, but the flesh is weak.
That
Uh-huh.
flesh right there is
The
good and
flesh
weak.
is showing out, girl. The flesh is fleshing
But
today.
I'm here, God. But
But
I'm
we
here.
here. Look,
But I'm
we
here.
here. Good morning, Miss Phyllis. Good to see you this morning. Good morning, Miss Patricia. Good to see you as well. We appreciate you ladies being here. For anybody who's out in YouTubeville, for those on IG, Facebook, we appreciate it. If you're not live with us and you catch us on the replay, we appreciate that too. It's all good in the neighborhood. Do you hear me?
It is. It's all
Ladies,
good.
how was your Mother's Day?
I think that's part of why I was tired. My grandson spent the weekend, so I've just been up and going very early, not sleeping
Yeah.
well since Friday, but it was great. Time spent with my girls is just always, I know Sparkle can appreciate that. It's just heaven sent because, your kids are
It is.
grown
Mm-hmm.
and they just, dote on me and spent time with me. And we didn't do anything lavish and we don't need to. So it's just that quality time. That's my love language. So I had a great Mother's Day.
You know
What
what?
about you?
Me too. I think my daughter's. I know years back. My oldest was like, "Well, Mama, what would you prefer? Gifts or things?" And gifts or just quality time
Time
and quality
spent.
time because you
Yep.
build memories. Because you think
It's something
you don't want to go
different.
back and say, "Remember when you got me them flowers?" or "Remember when you got me that whatever." You
You
don't
don't
want
even
to talk
remember.
about that. Just say, "Remember when we went to see Michael Jackson?" Or "Remember when we
Yeah.
went to." See, you want to have the memories and the things
Right.
that can, good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Cynthia. But I
Good
hope
one.
everybody had a great Mother's Day. Sparkle. Did
I was
you?
in Cancun. Hey,
She was
Cancun,
living it
y'all.
up, baby. Oh, yeah.
Is
Let
it
me
fair to
tell
say
you.
you might still be there mentally?
I'm still there, and I don't know where the water is though. The water, when you go, the water is so beautiful, so relaxing. Blue, not just the little blue. It's the real blue,
The real
and you can
blue.
really see through it. It is gorgeous. God get y'all. When I say God showed up and showed out, He gave us favor on top of favor on top of favor on top of favor. He just kept on just dashing out.
Amen.
Even
The
we
water
was
is so
able to
good.
get a trip. We got a 3-day trip voucher that was given to us. I was like, and
Nice.
However, did you not expect that? Because
yeah,
don't you
no,
walk in
I
that?
expected
Because
favor. I know all I
Sparkle
do is walk in
always
favor.
has something that is, a favor moment.
Yeah.
When she goes somewhere, they bringing her extra cheesecake, or they bringing her, they giving her a close up parking space, or they're giving her a room
Yes.
credit, or
Alicia said, that's why I love going places with you. I love going places with you because I know we're getting some upgrades. We're going to get some extra. Like, God just favors you. And, it was the most beautiful thing that she told. Like I said, Alicia, as a mother, what is something that you feel like I have showed you? And she said, it's your faith walk. It always has been your
Mm,
faith
oh,
walk. Like,
oh,
I've
love it.
never had to worry about you because I like, shoot, huh, God, if anything, when
it
I was out there trying to do bad stuff, I was like, huh, God, but God gonna tell her. God,
is. Oh, she don't
Facts.
know. God and told her. Yeah.
she was like, my friends was like, your mama won't know. She was like, I don't know about y'all, mama.
My mama will know.
Oh no.
But it was so great. It was so great. It was so great. And now I'm in
Good.
Tennessee.
She said no.
We're gonna need you to
But
do
I'm
better now.
grateful, God. I'm grateful.
So we're
I'm
gonna need you
grateful.
to
I'm
give that same
grateful. I'm
energy to
grateful.
Tennessee. Thank you. Don't be doing our state like that.
Good morning, ladies. Cynthia and Kelly and everybody.
We're glad to
Patricia and
see you.
Phyllis. And it's
Let
just
me
great to
tell
be
you.
alive. It's a
It
great life
is. It's a
to
blessing.
have life
It
and
is. It's a
freedom.
blessing. Mhm. That too, for sure. It's
We
a
have
blessing
freedom.
to move and maneuver and to have freedom and to have peace and joy. And I had the conversation with Brenda last night, and that's one of the things she was saying that, and I asked her, like, what would she want? What's the legacy? And, she said to make sure that my children, know about God, that they
Mm-hmm.
know that that's their source, to know that, when things go opposite of what you expect, that you still know it's all good, that you still believe God got your back, that you still know if He's for you, who's going to be against you.
Yep.
It's such a powerful thing, to leave with your children,
Yes.
to know that they believe that, whether you're here or not.
That they
Because
still
there'll
can
be
hold
times
on
when
to
you're not
it.
going to be here, and they will be able to rely on that when you set that foundation. The foundation, baby, is everything,
That's great.
foundation
Because
is everything.
foundations can't be broken. When
And
it's hold on, let me correct that. When the foundation is what God has called it to be,
yes, yes,
it's a
yes,
solid foundation. Now
exactly.
all foundations aren't meant to stay up. You gotta
Man's foundation is not gonna
yeah,
last,
yeah,
but
you're gonna
God's
have to knock,
foundation is
but they're
here.
gonna fall down anyways. They can't stand the storm. they can
Cannot,
they cannot stand the storm.
cannot. What the big bad wolf say? I'm a huffing, I'm a puffing, I'm a blow
Blow
your house down. Yeah.
I'm gonna blow it all the way down. Yes.
People try you. People try to blow your house down. People try to, shake you up and mess you up, and you gotta be, you have to have something to anchor yourself with, and I
Yeah.
think that a lot of times people are just out in the wind blowing and don't
And
know which
just
way to
blow
go because they
and
don't
they
have a
just out
foundation.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
It's the we're existing, but we're not living.
yeah.
We're just here and we don't have a pathway. And Natasha, I know we talk a lot of time about, limiting beliefs and how that can disrupt, a person's life and how it can keep you from staying stagnant. It can keep you staying stagnant, rather, not from it, but actually staying stagnant instead of the growth that we're looking for, instead of the healing for real that we're trying to make sure everybody gets that message in 2026 and moving forward. Because life, if we're looking at, good morning, Tina, if we're looking at anything on social media, the
Anything.
political climate is off the chain. I'm telling you, it's so many things that are going on where people are, trying to change laws, trying to strip rights, trying to, take
I
your
mean, it is
freedom from you, the
crazy.
freedom to vote the way that we used to
Even
vote, the
down to
freedom.
voting. Did you think we would
Yes.
ever have to go back through voting rights again?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel
Exactly.
like we're going backwards instead of forwards. But
yeah,
in line of what you're talking about, Angela, this morning I made a post about nothing changes if nothing changes, and it
mm-hmm.
comes off the heels of our mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use this morning as an example of the whole being tired thing as we joke about it. Although I said I was tired, I very quickly stepped outside of my house and onto my patio and just thanked God for life and my breath. And the reason
Yep,
for that was to set my mindset for the day.
yep.
Yeah.
If I didn't go out to change that mindset and align it with God, how very quickly I could use my tired as a reason to why I don't want to
An
do this, I don't
excuse.
want to
Yeah,
do that, or it's a really crappy day. And it's because we just don't realize how the way that we're thinking, how that just moves and shapes everything that
Mm-hmm.
we
it
do
does.
in a day,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the
Mm-hmm.
very first thing is about getting that mind right. And a lot of us are more focused on, paying the bills and getting to work and beating the traffic and getting that cup of coffee. When in reality, the very first thing you should do the minute you open your eyes, you don't even have to get out of your bed, is set
Yeah,
that mind right.
you are
The minute
already like in the Thanksgiving, and
It
correct.
and
is.
I love that you said that, Natasha, because I'm a dreamer. So I'll wake up like in some type of dream, and I have to like be like, okay, God, we out. Like we're not in there no
Back to
more.
reality.
Yeah, like, well, thank you, God, that I'm able because I love sleeping. Because I think it refuels. it gives you that reset,
Mhm.
that your mind needs a reset and need to everything shut off, cut off.
Needs to rest.
No, you can't have, because it seems like when you're trying to go to sleep, sometimes everything want to come to you. Like, look, I was just up and I was doing all that all day, and none of this came. Now I decide to go rest. So learning to confuse, to not let those other thoughts have action,
Mhm.
because thoughts will, if you let the thought in, it will cruise all day long with you, all night long with you. You ain't get no sleep because those thoughts just keep on repeating themselves over and over and over and over.
And I'm gonna say too, you also have to be mindful of other people. Because
Hmm.
when you're in a today,
What you doing to
I'm
other
tired. I
people?
don't feel like, and then you get around
Yeah.
everybody else, and they're just like, "Girl, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing nothing." It's like you want permission for somebody to say, "Yeah, let's not do anything today," or "Yeah, this is just gonna be a bad day," and you absorb that energy. You gotta be your own thermostat so that
Hmm.
other people won't pull you into wherever they're in. If they're having a bad day, even when you're tired, your flesh, like I said earlier, the spirit may be willing, but the flesh is weak as I don't know what.
It's so weak. You
Miss
like,
Phyllis said, renewing our mind daily to walk in this world, and you have to. You gotta.
and it's a
It's like
daily
it's like
thing.
charging up your cell phone. When your battery starts getting low, what's the first thing you say? "Oh, girl, my battery's getting low. Let me get
Yeah.
my charger
Let me plug
and
this back
charge
up.
it up." Renewing your mind is the same thing. You have to plug in. You have to charge yourself up so that when you're feeling low, when you're feeling thrown off, when you're feeling worried, anxious, depressed, whatever those things that come at you, renewing your mind helps you to combat that. But you got to
Hmm.
know that there's something that you need to do, because we always talk about it's still got to be work.
It's still.
You still
Well,
got to put work in.
this all comes back to what we talked about, I think, last week on the show, and it comes back to being aware of your feelings. All of what you just mentioned is emotional, right? The depression and the anxiety, it's
All
emotional.
of it's
The
emotional.
worry is emotional. Fearing something is all emotional, and your emotions are rooted in mindset
Mind, heart,
or
yes.
thinking, right? That's why I said if nothing changes if nothing changes. We are not thinking oftentimes clearly and or thinking or looking at things through God's lenses. We're looking at it through our flesh lenses. And then we're like, oh God, well, I want things to change. Okay. And God can help you change, but God needs you to change your mindset.
Yeah.
He's not gonna
That it can change, because some
correct.
people mind is so stuck on, oh, ain't nothing gonna ever change. This never,
This
I
is the
mean,
way
this
it's
is
gonna
how it
be.
all is. Like that mindset, it will keep you right where you're at. and
And
then
and,
and then
and
we're we are timely people. Like, if we timely when it comes to God, but we not timely when nothing else except for God. When are you gonna do it? When are you gonna do it, God? When are you gonna do it? When are
because
you gonna do
because
it?
we want what we want, right? And I had a client.
When we want it.
When we want it, we are
When we want it.
who is the Burger King? We want it our way.
We want it our way. Yes, 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 for
I've
sure.
had clients say to me that they identify and recognize, like, they're aware they have trauma, or they're aware they have depression, or they're aware whatever's going on. And I'm like, okay, well then you need to see, because I've transitioned from being a therapist to being an empowered coach. And I say, you need to see a therapist. They're like, yeah, I don't want to. And I'm like, but you just recognized that there's an underlying issue. You are aware that you have an underlying issue. What do you mean you don't want to? And so
And they live with that. Like, I don't want. I
correct.
don't. I'm just. This is
This
just
is
the
who I
cards
am.
I've been played. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been dealt.
Yep.
Hmm.
And
No,
that is
redeal. No, I'm not. Because think about it. If we really accepted the cards that we have been dealt, we wouldn't be sitting right here right now. I can guarantee you
I
that.
can guarantee it.
Absolutely.
If we
And the
just
crazy thing is, when you talk about change, The reality is, as much as the world is changing and people are being so vocal about, stripping things and erasing history and things like that, sometimes maybe we need that because I think that we have just been going through life like la di da is great, la di da, we want to, you just want to just go through life and you
Just
can
do
turn on
any
the
kind of
TV
thing.
and there's so many apps for everything. So you can turn on the TV and watch 99,000 movies and you can do all these different things. You can get all these restaurants you can go to and all. It's just
Well,
it's an overload. Go ahead,
it's
Natasha.
it's an overload, and it ties into what you just talked about, that instant gratification. I
Mm-hmm.
found so I love this conversation. So Sparkle just talked about foundation.
Mm-hmm.
You got God's foundation, and you got the foundation that's built by man. In our country where we live, it's built by man.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at where we were from, let's say, because I came to the United States in about the 80s, you look at it from just the 80s. I mean, we can go all the way back, folks, but I'm just using that as a marker to where we are now. You're absolutely right. We have grown, we have evolved quite a bit, but to the point where we have taught people how to depend, right, on this fast, instant change, right?
Yes.
Everything is quick, fast, and in a hurry. It's we have not learned on how to postpone immediate gratification, right? Everything is social media, everything is electronic, everything
It
is
is.
everything is quick,
It's
everything is
fingertip
fast.
driven. Everything is right here at your
Yes, you don't even have
fingertip
to pop popcorn anymore. Like you don't
Correct.
even gotta melt the butter and put the corn in there for the
because
popcorn to pop.
the convenience. It's the convenience that
Correct.
has been afforded us. But when we think about it, like my husband and I, we sat outside. I was like, look, Saturday, let me give me some sun. But we were talking about how when we were kids, stayed outside. We had fun. You barely
Yep.
want to go inside. You want to be like, okay, I'm gonna go inside and maybe give me some water, give me a little bite to eat or whatever. Mama, give me a sandwich, and then I'm back outside.
Shoot, you would
And
eat that sandwich on the porch.
girl, you would probably take a couple of bites and be like, okay, I'm
Listen,
good. I got to get back
I
out here because we
I
are
ate
having
while I
fun.
was running.
And
Be-
thank you.
because
But
the
we
rule
enjoy
was,
life.
yeah,
Go ahead.
because the rule was you come in the house, you gonna stay in the house.
Yeah,
So
you come
what
and
you
you
try to do is
And you don't
not
want to
get
be in
in
the
that
house.
house.
you won't keep me in the house. But when you think about it, we during my time of growing up, we didn't have that many diseases like that. You know what I'm saying? It may
Mhm.
have been something major, serious like tuberculosis or something along that line, but
But
back
it's
then when people
something.
had it, it's
It's something we
nothing.
don't even know about,
It's
really.
something that you like, child. I don't know because back then I don't remember people having a lot of cancer. I don't. It's like as I maybe got into my college years or teenage years, then you start saying like cancer, dying. Then next thing you know, it's like every other day is somebody popping up with cancer. Every
Mm-hmm.
other day is somebody popping up with some type of virus. Every other day is somebody coming up with something new. I'm gonna catch Tina's comment. She said most of the battle is in the heart, not the mind. If we can get our hearts to match our thoughts, most of us will be okay with changing our mindset. But we get caught up with what our heart wants.
But your heart is your mind because your heart
Yep.
is your emotions.
That's
It's
what I
all
was getting ready
mental.
to say.
I'm sorry. It's all mental.
Yeah.
So Tina, you're not totally off there, but your heart is your emotions and your emotions are in your mind. So it's all mental. It's
All of it.
mental, it's emotional, it's physical, right? That's how it trickles down inside of us. And so you're 100% right. So it comes back to what Angela's been talking about for the last 2 weeks. It comes back to your emotions, the
Yeah.
one thing that everybody's running from. It's like that is how God created us to be, was to have feelings. We are not robots. Even
Yeah.
though we're talking about a new age where robots are running the world and taking jobs and
Yes.
things,
And doing
right?
everything.
The robots don't have feelings, they don't have hearts, but we do. But we're trying to run around here as if we're robots, and that's part of the problem.
Uh-huh.
If we were more in touch with how we were feeling, then we would be aware, so we can change that mindset, right? But
Yeah.
Right.
we have to understand, and when I talk about like getting to the root of it, is how we're influenced even from since we were little.
Mhm.
Everyone and everything around you has the potential to influence you, right? So our society has influenced us and shaped us to not be able to postpone immediate gratification,
Uh-huh.
right? So coming back to I
Mhm.
want what I want and I want it now, right? God forbid we were to have some major, like in Y2K, this electrical, blowout. Let's say we have one
Yeah.
of those. 50% of this world, if not 75% of the people in this world, will not know how to function.
Nope.
Right? There's a lot of people that don't carry cash around anymore in their hands. Everything is plastic. And something that I've learned is that if you think about putting some cash money in your hand versus plastic in your hand, there's more value in the dollar that you hold in your hand than that piece of plastic. Right?
Yeah.
So when you talk about the diseases we have today, we didn't have it back then. We also didn't accumulate the kind of debt that we have today.
Oh, come on now.
Right?
True.
Because we're not connected. Everything comes back to connection. And we are not connected to the things in this world.
You're not, because if you have $100 in your hand, you might say, "Oh, they got a sale. Let me run over here and get it." Then when you realize that you give them that 100 and they're gonna give you $12.10 back,
you be like,
"Yeah, no, I don't need to put that on back." Versus if you got a card and swipe it, even though it may be coming out of your bank account,
it still doesn't feel the same.
It doesn't feel the same. You can swipe all day long, like, baby, we is out here popping and doing what we doing. We pop it.
Yeah.
Because you just it's a delayed reaction of till you look at your bank account and you're like,
yeah,
that's my account. Oh, that's right. I forgot we went out to eat and I bought this and we did that.
And it's gone so fast, and you haven't even kept up with it. But that $50 bill that's in your wallet that's sitting there, you like, well, I do have a little cash. Oh no, I can't do it.
Spend that, girl. Listen,
I ain't breaking it.
Once you break that,
we're not breaking that 50. I'm not breaking that. It's $1. I'll just do without the candy bar.
Right. But that's a good thing though, because it allows you to understand that we need to pay more attention to life.
Be more intentional.
Be more aware. So my friend just sent me this message. Reading the Bible is powerful. As we meditate on the words, God reveals himself to us. Our thoughts become his thoughts, and we grow to be more like him. Stop spending so much time and money on what's next and enjoy the moment you are in. Make life an experience, not an expense.
Not an expense.
And I think that is where we are. Our lives are expenses.
Yes.
Everything that you do, it's an expense. And so what happens is you stop enjoying it. You stop going through it. You stop getting up in the morning and making the first thing you do, thanking God to let me scroll and see what's on social media. Let me look at my bank account and see what I got. Let me check my emails. We're so into getting things done, the expense of life, that you don't enjoy the experience. You don't enjoy, like Natashah said, let me get up and go out here on my deck, my patio, and say, breathe in this air and say, thank you, God. Thank you. Okay, you see what Natashah put in here. Addiction equals emotional disconnection from self and others and dependent on things that leave our lives unmanageable.
Unmanageable. That part right there. Unmanageable.
So when you were talking about the money just now, we don't have an emotional connection with that plastic card versus the emotional connection we have with the cash.
Right.
And that's with everything in our lives. When you think we're so fast paced, we no longer, and everybody's running from their emotions. So if you're running from your emotions, you don't have an emotional connection. And if you don't have a connection to people, places, and things, then what are we doing? And there's a difference between attachment and connection. Attachment says that I'm attached to this, and without this, I can't function. I can't live. Right? The connection is about coming together almost like a magnet. We're connecting, or like you're plugging into that electrical source, right? I'm connecting to it, but I can always unplug from it and still function because I'm fully charged. Right?
Right.
We want to be in connection. We don't want to be in attachment. And people are either attached to debt or attached to their credit cards. This is why people struggle with identity issues or their past identities or with past trauma, because they're still attached to it, right? Or past relationships when people are bitter and resentful.
They're like soul ties. You don't realize your souls become intertwined with something, and that attachment forms. And
correct. That's not a soul connection. That is a soul attachment. right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Completely different. So you're absolutely right. And that's what we need to realize. So the sooner that we can get more in touch and connected with our emotional selves, the easier, better, sooner we can make emotional connections with people, places, and things. And that to me
That's
is where the ultimate work is.
yeah, that's when that maturity comes, and you know
Yep.
that you're trying to get yourself together emotional, and you have to tell people, give me a minute, because I'm not gonna bleed on you. I'm not gonna make you the blame of why I'm going through this moment right now. So hold on, I'll call you back, or I'll come back later or something, because you have matured now, that you have connected to that emotion. Like,
Absolutely.
I got to get this out of me. I got to get this emotion, release this emotion. And,
Mhm.
it's just like a good cry can change your life. Like, if you're going through some moments, right, just cry. A good cry will set the whole, why are you crying? I don't even know. Let me just cry. Let me just get all this out. Let me get it out. And then you're like, I'm good. Okay.
Or or a good scream. So I'm gonna
Or
I'm gonna be
I was getting ready to
transparent.
say that, Natasha.
I'm gonna
Or
be
a good
transparent.
scream.
Yeah, I think it was last Thursday before the Mother's Day weekend. I had just had a long week, and for whatever reason, I just felt this emotional buildup. I was getting a headache. I felt overloaded and overwhelmed. I went into my thank God I live alone. I put my music on, went into the shower, and I just screamed in the shower. And it was such a great release because after I got done screaming, I started crying.
Yeah.
Right? So if anybody heard me, be like, what the hell is happening to her? But I needed that release. That I actually felt better when I came out of that shower after a hot shower and screaming and crying. My headache went away. I didn't have to
Yes. It was,
Wow.
but
Because the pent up
becoming her.
emotions have nowhere to go. So they channel inside your body. So when you're having headaches, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times we always think that you go to the doctor and the doctor says, okay, it's nothing wrong. But a lot of times that is because you have had so many emotions that you have pushed down, pent
emotional
up, not
stress.
released, that it's manifesting in your body in some kind of way. So, how I think I was talking to Lakeisha, and she's a grief coach. And so, she was saying that she can tell you how grief is stored in the body. And sometimes, it affects different areas. So, you have, maybe shoulder and neck
Oh
pain, or,
yes.
what I'm saying? And sometimes we
That
don't
big
realize
hump.
that, yeah, sometimes we don't realize that it's what we're carrying that we shouldn't carry, that you need to release so that you can get that out of there and free yourself. Because you talked about freedom
And be
earlier
healthier. And be
and
Yes.
be
healthier.
healthier. But it's got to be somewhere. Because for me, for a long time, I was just like, I'm not crying. I can't. I'm not. I'm just, and just build that up. But that builds up in inflammation. I mean, it's things
Yep.
that happen in your body where you don't feel good because you're not releasing.
So
Yes.
I love what you say there. So every emotional stress is the number one
From
exacerbator
a
to
death.
any mental or medical condition you can
Yep.
have, right? And a
Mhm.
simple thing for us ladies, when you are emotionally stressed, see that little pooch that we have in our lower stomach? That is not fat. That is inflammation. And I learned that with my own self in the last 2 years
Mm.
turning my life around. Managing
Mhm.
my stress took away because what happens is you not only get inflammation, it increases cortisol. So cortisol goes up, inflammation goes up, and like bread, horrible analogy, but that's what I'm
It
using,
rises.
it rises. If
Wow.
you and Sparkle, if you even pay attention to, so in the last 2 years, people have asked me, how did I get rid of my lower stomach? And it's through some pelvic floor exercises, but majority of it is my meditation. My learning on how to release stress out of the body makes a difference. I have lost weight in my neck, right? So when I first started losing weight, it wasn't fat weight that I was losing, it was
Mhm.
inflammation weight that I was losing
Mm.
because my
It's like
body
when the
was
bread
storing that
rises, now you
stress.
can poke a hole in it so that it can
And
start.
it'll come
Correct.
down.
Correct.
Wow.
Yep. And if you look at it
Wow.
in other countries, women do not have that lower belly issue as American women. I don't think
Wow.
people have ever
Yeah,
noticed that.
honestly speaking, that
That
is
they don't
absolutely
though.
right. And you know what?
And that's
My
not
husband and
because
I
they
were
don't
talking
eat,
about.
because them countries they eat, boy.
They
Well,
eat.
that's what I was getting ready to say. We were talking about how, you can see like Italians, they eat a lot of pasta. Pasta converts into sugar in your body.
Cheesecake, all
And for us, but because we are constantly boom, 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 moving, we in traffic. You on the phone, you on social media. In other countries, they have slower paced lives. They
yes,
have, in Mexico, they have siestas.
yep.
In other countries, they're walking different places. They have a
Walking
more
everywhere.
they're walking everywhere.
And
Exactly.
not fast. That when they get there, they
They're
get
gonna
there.
get there.
And they take time. Like you think about, in Japanese cultures, they drink hot tea. So
Yeah,
they take the
all
time
day.
to sip
They
on that.
take breaks in the
They
middle of their
in
day.
the they call them. They take their sleep break.
Naps.
Uh,
Yep.
and it and
But see,
it's
we don't feel like we have the luxury of doing that because
yeah.
we're on go mode all
Well,
the
can you
time.
imagine if your job and they come and catch you with your head down at your desk and you
Look,
knocked out,
come here.
Yeah.
you sleeping on the job, that's immediate termination. That's
But
not
that's
let's
the
talk
but that's
about
the
it.
problem, right? So the foundation in which we stand and the people who lead us in the policies, the procedures, is telling us that's wrong. It's telling us vastly. It's so opposite. It's
It's
counterintuitive to the
telling
work that
us
I do,
move fast.
not to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
That self-care,
Mhm.
self-love, value, and worth in self is non-existent in this
Yes.
country.
That is so
Although,
real.
although in the values of the company is always that we value our people. The reality
But do
is
you?
the reality is in America, I'll just say leave it for our country. We don't have the concept of understanding that it doesn't have to be go, 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 go to be productive. You
Correct.
can be productive and you can have your purpose. And sometimes you can be more effective at it when you take time to rest, when you
Mm-hmm.
take time to, because I think I looked at, read an article or something, but I think at the time Oprah was talking about her organization. And a lot of times they give like midday siestas or, break times for them to take 30 minutes to meditate or whatever,
Yep.
Mhm.
and people came back more refreshed and more productive
Yep. You
taking
get
that time out. See, for
Yep.
most places, you feel like I can't give you any time off. I need to work you like a
Some
slave
people
so
don't
that
take
you
a
can get
lunch. They
right.
yeah.
don't even
So,
eat.
so that you can
No,
keep going because
yeah. It's
but
a
you need
bragging
it.
right for you to be like, oh, I have 200 hours of PTO. That is nothing to brag
It's
about.
not.
That is not a good brag.
It's
Like,
not.
if I
But
have to call
society
you
makes
on
you
the
think that it
phone and
is.
say, I'm looking at your PTO hours and you need to take some time off.
How about this?
Nobody should have to call you to
To tell
say,
you,
and
but how
and their
about
response is always, I have too much going on. I have too much work going on. I don't have no money to go on vacation anyways. Just sit in your own home.
well, wait. So that was what I was just gonna say. So how about this? How about somebody does have the PTO and they take it and then they go home and then they work from home and or they go home and now they find other things to do at home and they're still not resting. So I'm
Yep.
gonna take my 200 hours of PTO, but I'm not using it to take care of myself, mind, body, spirit.
No,
Exactly.
that is so rude.
You switch responsibilities. And the thing about it is when we talk about settling and establishing you a foundation where you can understand that taking care of you is a priority. And
Mhm.
sometimes taking care of you is just sitting your behind down in the chair
Sit
and
And
not doing anything.
not
Clearing
even
your
there.
mind,
talking.
not even looking at TV, because a lot of times it's still that mental stimulation. Sometimes look out the window and just be appreciative of the birds you see flying and whether it's rain outside or whether the sun is shining, the leaves are blowing, whatever. Sometimes we just need to start appreciating that we have life.
Yeah.
And with that, there's so many other things that can stimulate you in a different way than artificial stimulation through TV or radio or whatever. We
Which
got to
changes your
train our
mindset when
minds.
Yes.
you do that.
You got to
Because
train your mind to calm down and
and
appreciate
appreciate.
slow.
Yeah, but I was looking at my pictures from Cancun. I have more pictures of water, clouds than I do
Nature.
of
Nature.
actual.
God's creation.
But that is, and it's so weird to me that that's who I have became. Like that I have became that you go on vacation and you're just infatuated with looking at the water and the clouds.
Girl,
Forget
it's so
everything. Because
soothing.
it's all
It's
this
so
exciting
soothing.
things going on.
It's family though, because your soul is craving something different.
Amen.
And
Yes.
when you're here, when you think about it, when you're at home, you don't see the blue water. You don't
No.
see all the beautiful, puffy, pretty clouds. You don't have the open space to do that because when you look around in whatever state that you're in or city that you live in, it's construction. If you're on the interstate, it's construction.
It's
If you drive
It
down the road, they're
is.
building up high rises or they're building up.
Yes, you're
It's
so
something
right,
being
Angela.
constructed. In every piece of land, you see, oh, they're building up something or they're
it's
pulling
populated.
down something to build.
Yep.
It's
It's
so true because
consistent.
my back porch is not even the same because now they're doing construction. When I first moved out here, the selling point was the realtor told me they're not going to build anything right behind you. Well, how long did that last? That
Mm.
lasted the whole little 6 months. And
Now you get
now,
up and look like you hear knocking. You hear knocking.
yeah, but
I mean, building something.
it's the slow down though to take in. We're in the plane and I'm already in tears just seeing the clouds of how God just created the clouds and I was like, okay, this is gonna be a long. You already crying in the clouds, so this is getting ready to be a long.
But Sparkle, it shows your growth and your maturity because I'm the same way. I'm very much into if I had to choose between being out there in a crowd and being amongst the people, like all those things are really great, but being able to appreciate God's creation, right? It's the
Yeah,
simple
yeah,
things in life.
It's
And
the
yeah.
beauty of that.
a lot of people are really fearful of, at least in the field of what I do and the work that I do, people are fearful of slowing down because they're so used to going all the time.
Yes, yes.
They're fearful of slowing down, but what they don't realize is on the other side of slowing down, there is so much more rest. There is so much
Mhm.
more gratitude. There's
So
so much
much more peace.
appreciation, so much more peace, and just you have a chance to breathe, And when you breathe, you get oxygen back into the body, and that oxygen
Yes.
gets to help rejuvenate the body. And so there's just a whole world, a whole other side
Yeah.
that so many people are missing out on. And I think it's great because I'm like that too. When I'm flying for work, I always like to choose that window seat because I
Yep.
just want to see it. Because in Fort Lauderdale here, we're always flying off over the water, and it's just amazing because we don't take time to look at those things, and we take life for granted, right? We're always
Mhm.
the next thing. Some of the things that I learned in sobriety is, as soon as I got done one thing, I was on to the next thing.
Yep.
My sponsor
Mhm.
was like, can you just appreciate where you were to where you are? Do you feel like you always have to be going?
Yep.
Right? So it puts into perspective that how about we just sit today and just look around?
Yeah. That's
Even
even retirement, Natasha.
Mhm.
When people retire,
Yeah.
they like, oh, I can't do this no more. I can't do this no more. I had to go find me
Yeah,
something
they
else.
like, yeah, I don't like being retired.
I
I need something to do. But you know what? I feel like we train our children
to do the
early
same.
to let's go, go, go. Come on, we gotta go. Come on, we gotta
Mhm.
go. We gotta be here. And we have very disruptive things to draw our system. So you think when you're in school, you have the school bell alarm and it's loud. So to
It's loud.
transition from one place to the other, it's a loud bell or
It's
buzz or
loud.
something.
Yeah.
When you're
Get
asleep, if
out of
you
my
got the
way. The
alarm,
horn.
yes.
Like,
Oh yes, it's always something to jar your system. We don't have easy transitions, even with the alarm on
True.
your phone, it's something that
that's
to
gonna make you
just
pop up.
awake.
One that
Exactly.
gives you anxiety.
Yeah, like,
And look, now you scared of your own alarm. Like, oh, that scared me.
but you know what? But when your nervous system is calm and peaceful, you really can train yourself to get up at certain times anyway without an alarm.
Ex- exactly.
You actually
Like,
can get yourself up the same
and
time that
each
your
one of
body is.
us, even though we was tired this morning, our body was still up. Like,
Mhm.
our body, like, we wanted to stay there, but our mind knew that we had to be somewhere at
My
a certain.
mind was up at 5:30. My body rolled out the bed at 6 a.m.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. That part. Because your body is based on rhythms, and so
Yep.
the rhythm of your
It's
body
programmed.
it will automatically get you up at a certain time if it becomes that routine. So now it knows, okay, so I've gotten my sleep. Okay, so now it's time for me to get up, and sometimes you don't need anything to help you do that.
Nope.
Yeah, Angela, because even on my day off, I'm still waking up at 5:30, thanks to you.
And then
You're
you
the reason
mad.
why I'm
I
getting
know
up at
I am. I'm
5:30.
like, come on.
I
Like,
want to
no,
sleep
lay
in.
your tail down.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Your mind is like, get up.
get
Yeah.
up. But I'm
Right.
telling you, one of the most enjoyable things sometimes is just laying in your bed, woke, but still just sitting there and
Yeah.
laying there for a moment. And you're just like, whoa, I could take this. And that's why they say that you should get up before, like if you need to get up by 6, you should set your alarm at least 15 minutes
Right.
prior to that so that you don't start your day just rushing and
What I do.
jumping and
And here's a tip in that 15 minutes, because some people will lay in that bed and go, I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do the other. That's not what your 15 minutes are for. If you actually lay in the bed, this is going to sound really weird, but it works. And as you lay in the bed, just rub your feet against your mattress and allow your body to just sink into your mattress and just kind
okay.
of sort of wiggle yourself a little bit, right? It's just a very natural way when you think about settling your nervous system, Angela, like you
Hmm.
were talking about. It's a
Mhm.
great way to calm your nervous system as you're settling in. You're not, trust me, you're not going to fall back to sleep, but you're learning to just appreciate that 10 to 15 minutes because it's really the only time you have with you before you get up and take off for the day to
Yeah,
deal with the world, right?
you're right. Yep.
Take that 10 to 15 minutes. And then even in that moment, that's where that mind shift can happen. Because now I could say, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for opening my eyes this morning. God, thank you for this bed. Thank you for giving me this 10 to 15 minutes to be here with myself and to be here with you. That right there sets the
I
mind
am
for the
going to
day
do
and
that.
sets the
It
intention for
does.
the day.
And
I'm
then
doing that
what?
tomorrow.
Sometimes when
Thank
you
you,
look at
Natasha. I'm
that is
taking that.
good. Yes. Because sometimes when you're laying there an extra 15 minutes or so, you start thinking like, wow, it seems like long, like we hit snooze or whatever. Like, oh,
Uh-huh.
it seems like this is guys, I
It's the
still got
longest 15
time.
minutes of my life.
Yes. It's like, oh, but it's because you're rejuvenating yourself in a different way
Yeah.
than always being, ready
Correct.
to hop out and get things done. Because if y'all think about it, we say, oh my God, it's not enough hours in the day. That's because you're rushing, rushing, going, 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 going. It's when you're settled and calm that you realize, oh, that was a long 30 minutes or a good power nap, maybe a
Yes.
30,
A
45 minute
power
nap.
nap will change your life.
It doesn't take long, but because you've taken the time to invest in the rest, it rejuvenates you in a different manner.
Hmm. It
Very
really
true.
does.
Very
It
true.
it really does. And we have to take advantage of that. We have to we don't want a sickness or something to cause us to have to take those pauses. We want to learn to take those pauses just because this is how I live. This is how
Yeah.
I live my life. Like people should know not to call you after a certain hour. They should know that naturally because I know she's in bed or this is too early for her to call her. Like people should know who you are
That
by
requires boundaries,
yeah.
Sparkle. That requires
And I was getting
boundaries.
ready to
But
say, and if they don't know, then you should be the person to sit and say,
Say,
okay, I'm
well,
not
and
answering
I
that
was
today.
I was
I'm
just
not
gonna
going to
say,
do
but
that right now.
if
Yes.
you don't know what you need, and if
yeah,
you're not recognizing what you need, then you're not going to know to tell other people what it is you need. And then I love this is like a conversation for tomorrow. It's like we get mad, like I can't believe why are they calling me at this hour, and what could they possibly
Thank
need from me?
you.
And it's like
Yes.
but
if
you
you,
answer and then you keep you talking to have the whole conversation. They know
well,
I'm who will not answer that phone
yep,
is me. Because I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Somebody FaceTimed me. This guy FaceTimed me, and I was like, the audacity that you have that you think it's okay just to FaceTime me. Now, you
without
got
even
to ask
asking.
permission to see my face. You can't just pop up and decide
True.
that you.
True.
Yes. So, of course, I didn't answer the phone. And then he sent me a text and said, you didn't answer the phone. So I didn't answer that text either. You're not, like, I will respond back to you, first of all, when I cool off, so I can tell you, so we can
Let
address
me
it.
emotionally regulate.
So that we can address. But then he, at the end, he was like, I apologize. I didn't know that you was all uptight. No, that's not an uptight.
Not uptight. It's like I go to bed at 10 o'clock, and
When somebody feels like they can just FaceTime you, that's an invasion of privacy, really, to
It's
me.
an invasion of
Like,
privacy. Because
yeah, I don't
more
know.
than likely, I'm not like, believe me, I can't answer the phone after a certain time. Like I'm like you, Natasha. We live alone, so
uh-huh.
I don't know what version.
Of me you're gonna get.
Yes.
Listen, after 9 o'clock, I have a facial routine that I do, and then my hair goes up in a messy bun, right? So I do not need anybody FaceTiming me. I don't want anybody to call me after 9 o'clock, because there's a version of me you're gonna get. It's not the version you know during the day.
You like, who is that? Oh my gosh, that is not who I thought.
She know I'm a hag. I don't know something wrong with her.
My kids joke and tell people all the time, you don't want to be talking to my mama after 9 o'clock.
Good morning, Brenda.
But it's that boundary that you set,
Yeah.
and what we talked about, setting boundaries for other people, but you need to set your own boundaries
Come on now.
and follow your own. Like you so quick to like, I have boundaries, but what are your boundaries for you?
Yeah, are you respecting your? Well, that's again another conversation for another day. We get upset that people aren't respecting our boundaries, but you
don't even respect
your boundary.
Exactly.
Right? And so
Exactly.
you can't get mad when somebody doesn't respect your boundary, because you're showing them that it doesn't matter to you, because it comes like the phone call. Right? If somebody's calling me after an hour that I don't want to take a call and I pick up the phone, in that moment, I've disrespected my own boundary, because I'm the one.
You disrespected your own self, but then you're gonna be mad because somebody disrespected you. Like, you can't do both. Like,
that's really important though when you think about it, that we gotta really start paying attention to what we need and prioritizing that. Because people get the best version of you when you are operating in your optimum, whatever it is, in your optimum space, state, time, whatever. When they get you outside of that, you're resentful and the communication is going to be different, because you're just like you said, I can't believe you had the audacity to call me. So now when you talk to them, you just like,
yes,
everything you're saying is like,
I ain't got time for this.
Yes, you
look,
are absolutely
then
right.
you just like, yeah, he ain't talking about nothing. Now you didn't, I can't, whoa. But you allowed yourself that, you know what I'm saying? So we do have to be mindful of what works for us. And a lot of times people will manipulate you.
Mhm.
People will, push you into a place where you really don't want to be. And when you come out, as Kelly says, self boundaries are good.
They
We gotta
are.
know us and not allow people to make us feel guilty because, oh, I was trying to call you because I was dealing with something. I really needed you.
Are you still alive?
God would have helped you in that situation a whole lot more than I.
Yeah. What you say? Look, I'm not God. I'm not that. I never sleep. I never, because I do. And it's even when people start talking to you about stuff, we should ask them, have you talked to God? Like, you should, like, before you start talking to me, have you discussed this with God?
I don't want to hear that though. You know what I'm saying? They want to get the back to the Burger King. You want to have it your way. You want to be able to talk and say and do whatever, whenever, without thinking about. Because a lot of times I always think about the inconsideration of people. People, something pops in your brain, like you say, you may be up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. That's not the time for you to reach out to somebody else who may be asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Get within what one of my favorite movies was The Five Heartbeats. And the man said, my office hours are 9 to 5. Don't call me. Don't catch me ahead of time. Don't catch me after that. Because when you do, he had the man hanging out the window. What are my hours again?
Because you called me like
9. He was like, 9 to 5. You gotta know, Miss Brenda said people get mad when you say you have prayed about it. When you say have you prayed about it, they get mad. People don't want to hear that, Miss Brenda. They don't.
they
Even
don't.
though
But you have to realize, because we think we're the rescuer of everybody, sometimes we have become their God. Like, because we want to be the rescuer, and
because you got the solution. You gonna figure it out. You gonna
oh,
make it happen. You
I
gonna go get
got
it
it.
done.
I got it. I'm gonna call them for you. I'll take
Mhm.
care of this. Oh, I'll take care of that.
What's your doctor's name? Let me call them. What's
Let
your people at the job name? I'm calling them.
No
Let me go to the school.
boundaries.
Listen,
Zero.
You are out
because
of your hula hoop, friend.
Because
you
people
put your
want.
cape on, and now you're gonna be Captain Save the Day,
What
baby.
you
Listen,
say, Angela? They go what?
yes, baby. Look, instant cape moment, baby. Now, okay, so now tell me what it is again, so
Because
I
they
can go get
want
it
to
done.
be known of that person. Like, oh, just go to Sparkle. She'll
Oh,
take
I know
care of
who's
it.
gonna get it done, Natasha. Let me call Natasha, because Natasha gonna get it done. I bet you Natasha gonna take care of it.
Not anymore.
Natasha said, no, ma'am. Not especially not after
Maybe
9 o'clock.
back in
You
the
gonna get
day.
me.
Not anymore. But no.
But at the time, you did feel like I'm so helpful. Like, oh, I'm being a servant. Oh, I'm serving.
So you see, you're stepping into my territory, because what I'm hearing is the reason why we cross our own boundaries, and we allow others to cross our boundaries, is because we're trying to be seen, we're trying to be understood, we're looking for validation, and we don't know our worth. So I know we're wrapping up on time, but I have a really great topic, and if you guys can remind me for tomorrow, there are about 9 to 10 different types of boundaries.
We're going into them.
We need to get into the different type of boundaries and understand that boundaries are not designed to control other people. Boundaries are not consequences, and they're not a means to punish other people. Boundaries is designed for you to recognize what is it that you need, and you ask for what you need in any and all relationships, whether that is work, whether that is with your sibling, your parents, and or with a partner, your children, whomever. And so boundaries are so important. We are living in a world, like Angela's talking about. We are just bobbing and weaving in and out of each other's lives, right? And so there's this technique that I use, and I refer to it as a hula hoop. It's called the hula hoop exercise. And I need everybody who's listening to go out there and go get yourself a hula hoop. Put that hula hoop around you, and whatever is in that hula hoop around you belongs to you. Nothing else.
What's outside of it
has nothing to do with you. It is not your business. It is not your responsibility. And that includes your husbands, your children, your dog, whatever else that doesn't belong to you. What belongs in your hula hoop is your mindset, how you're feeling. Are you regulating the feeling or not? How you're behaving, right? Your attitudes, everything about you, your physical, everything,
you
emotional, psychological.
not being a mother, not being
correct, right?
Okay.
That is used. Somebody was talking to you yesterday. She says, the lady was talking about how she's married, and she says, I'm so upset. She said, there are some days I show up as his mother, and then some days I show up as his caretaker and his helper and his nurse. And I said, well, first of all, how about if you showed up as his wife? You've been married for 30 years.
Just that one assignment.
Just one. I don't need you to be 5. I just need you to be 1. But she has stepped way out of bounds.
But you have heard men say, like, she just wants to be my mother. Like, yeah. I'm so tired of her trying to be my mother.
You already got one. You don't need
controlling everything, because people want to be in control of everything. You want to control how people spend their money. You want to control how people, what kind of a career path they choose. You want to control what friends they're around, because girl, honey, you shouldn't be around them because this, that, and the third, or she this, and we want to control.
But you make it about them, right? So that whole control thing you're talking about, Angela, we're making it about the other person, but it comes back to what you guys just said. The only reason why I'm trying to control you because it makes me feel better. I feel safe. Right? I feel like I'm in control of what's going on. I'm in the know, and that makes me feel better. So for all the controlling people out there, which by the way, I'm a recovering control addict myself, right?
And I'm still working on them.
Right.
Like, you know, I don't care now. I mean,
We all are at different places
different points. Absolutely,
of the
yes,
controlling spirit.
yes, right. It's a control spectrum. You know, you got to
Yes,
figure out what
some
part of
are
it you're
all the
on.
way. Some meters don't move. They look like the
It's a
little
control
turtle.
spectrum, baby.
Well, I've learned to let go of control because let me tell you what, when I don't let go of control, God's right there looking at me going, "Are you God?" And I'm like, "No." He says, "Then let it go because it does not belong to you," right? How somebody wants to live their lives, how somebody wants to behave, that is out of our control. It's an illusion in our minds to think that we can control other people. At the end of the day, no matter how hard you try to control someone or something, they're going to do what they want, when they want, how they want.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
And you're going to have to learn to live with it. So at some point or another, you're going to have to
you're
live
right.
with it. Because Sparkle, you said something earlier on about not allowing your health to teach you the lesson about resting. And that was a huge lesson for me. I didn't know how to rest. And every time I rested was when I got sick. Right. And my sick isn't just a cough. My sick is I can't move. My body can't get up.
Because look, God said he got to knock you all the way out.
All the way down. Exactly. For me to learn rest. So the same thing is true with controlling and not having boundaries. There's going to come a point. I always say God will use life to teach us.
It will.
When we need to slow down and when we need to let go and when we need to surrender. So you think you got this? You think you're in full control?
That's what he always laughs at. That's the biggest laugh ever. He like, look at her. You know, God in heaven, they are laughing at us so hard. Like, here she go.
There she goes.
Captain Save the World. look at Captain Save the World. But
and he'll let you go. And he'll let you go.
And he'll be like, don't tell me nothing because I already know. She'll be back. She'll be over here in a little bit.
After she do all that, she will come back and be like, okay, God, I guess I did move too fast, didn't I? You already knew that. But we have to get out of here. It's been a pleasure speaking with y'all, having this Empowered Morning Show. This is a great week. Remember, whatever your thoughts try to tell you, you come back and tell it. It's a guarantee to be an awesome week. This is a guarantee to be an awesome week. Speak it, believe it, write it down, whatever you have to do to take. That's the control spirit. I want you to have control over that thought. That this is a great week, a guarantee. We will see you back on Winning Wednesday. Y'all have a blessed day. I believe God. Do you believe God? We believe God. We believe God. We believe God. Have a blessed one.
Amen. Bye, guys.